The Wall Street Journal is a household name, the type of news organization that is highly regarded among newshounds. The name just sounds professional. The Wall Street Journal. With the world having gone as crazy as it has, clearly the proper use of resources would be to begin policing a digital platform that they didn't operate. It would be like walking into a high school somewhere and declaring yourself the hall monitor. This is Yori Ko, Wall Street Journal contributor, and she contacted Ethan Ralph of The Ralph Retort yesterday asking for his comment on an upcoming article, which he declined. Later that day, on their regularly scheduled live stream, they brought up the fact that The Wall Street Journal was going to be writing about them, and they briefly discussed the woman that contacted Ethan Ralph. Within 20 minutes, the live stream was pulled for violating community guidelines, although they didn't say what guideline was violated. Oddly enough, streaming is now disabled on that channel even though there isn't an actual strike listed in the account dashboard. This is when Ralph noticed that the super chats had been disabled by YouTube. He received an email. They said they received complaints. After this, Zidane, one of the co-hosts for the Killstream, hosted the show on his own channel, which only lasted a few more minutes before they shut that one down too. Keep in mind, neither stream had any content that was even questionable. This was a clear attempt to silence somebody that the Wall Street Journal didn't like. Or to be more specific, they didn't like what was being super chatted, so they needed to intervene. So here we have a multi-million-dollar news outlet going after streamers because they don't like what they're saying on the internet. Or what, to be more specific, what their audience is saying on the internet. They didn't care so much about the actual content. Well, I guess we'll see when the article comes out. It's still not out, by the way. This is perhaps why more and more people can't stand these journalists, because even on the surface, they're deeply terrible people. Did you think they couldn't go lower? Because I hate to be that guy, but they can get worse. They are worse. They're far worse than I ever gave them credit for. This is low even by their standards. This is, of course, a satirical article, but it's more accurate than it has any right to be. And that's the Wall Street Journal's fault. Yori Ko and the Wall Street Journal actually leaned on YouTube for political reasons to refund super chats sent during Ethan Ralph and the Ralph Retort's Killstream charity event. That's roughly $26,000 that was to go to St. Jude's. But Yori Ko wasn't going to have that. That money needed to go back to the people who donated it, despite the fact that these people wanted their money to go to St. Jude's. Can you imagine? Just imagine this woman reaching into the pockets of a child dying from cancer and taking their money, scolding them, because they didn't like what person donated that money to them. Who appointed the Wall Street Journal or Yori Ko to play internet donation police? Nobody. They appointed themselves. The article isn't even out yet, and the backlash is strong. So much so that she replied to an email to JF saying that the whole thing was up in the air. JF is another streamer who will likely be featured in the article, by the way, or would have been. They didn't even get their article, or it doesn't look like it's going up anyway, meaning that they gained nothing from this endeavor except taking money from St. Jude's for political reasons and getting 2 streamers pulled off of YouTube while live. Was it worth it, Yori Ko? Really? Was it worth it? Wall Street Journal? Did you get the outcome you really wanted? Why would they target a show like The Ralph Retort? Could it be that The Ralph Retort helped popularize a certain scandal that was allegedly predatory upon people with mental health issues? It can't be ruled out as a possibility, since the very first news outlet that is shown on BetterHelp's press page is none other than The Wall Street Journal. If you scroll down, you can see that they have mainstream fluff piece after mainstream fluff piece. This whole picture really does seem like it's starting to come together. The BetterHelp story was massive, very click-worthy, which is of course a priority for them. So why wouldn't mainstream journalists cover the BetterHelp scandal? Could there be more to this? I don't think it's over. I think this is just the beginning. And it's off to a great start with blue checkmark journalists leaning on YouTube to take money from kids with cancer for political reasons. I guess the Wall Street Journal really just has a big problem with Ram Ranch.